Michael Jackson died in 2009, burdened by an estimated $500 million in debt, a staggering financial collapse hidden behind his status as the world's greatest superstar. While the public saw a glittering billionaire lifestyle behind closed doors, Jackson was so cash poor that he was reduced to couchsurfing in New Jersey, desperately borrowing against his future just to pay his bills. In this video, we will reveal how the king of pop fell into a $500 million debt trap, the ruthless Wall Street battle over his legendary music catalog, and how his estate pulled off a historic $2 billion resurrection. To understand how a global icon could go completely broke, we have to look at the sheer scale of his world. In 1980, Michael Jackson hired a sharp entertainment attorney named John Branca. Together, they built an empire. But Michael's appetite for luxury quickly grew out of control. His home, the infamous Neverland Ranch, was not just a house. It was a personal amusement park and zoo featuring exotic animals and 2 fully operational train lines. Maintaining this fantasy world cost between $5 million and $10 million every single year. Prosecutors would later describe Jackson as a spendaholic, with a billionaire spending habit on only a millionaire's budget. He was consistently spending $20 million to $30 million more than he earned annually. He lived in a world where money felt infinite, but as his attorney John Branca knew, even the deepest wells eventually run dry. But Jackson did have one financial superpower. In 1985, on the advice of John Branca, Michael made the most brilliant business move of his life. He purchased the ATV music publishing catalog for $47.5 million. This catalog contained the ultimate prize, the publishing rights to the Beatles' greatest hits. The acquisition was so aggressive. It cost Michael his close friendship with Paul McCartney, who felt betrayed that his friend bought his own songs out from under him. 10 years later, in 1995, Jackson merged this catalog with Sony, forming Sony/ATV Music Publishing, and retaining a 50% stake. By 2007, his share of this joint venture was valued at a massive $600 million. It was his golden goose, a financial shield that would protect him for years. But as his debts began to mount, that shield would turn into a target. So how does someone with a $600 million asset go broke? It comes down to a classic financial trap, being asset-rich but cash-poor. To understand this, imagine owning a priceless masterpiece painting. You are technically a millionaire, but if you have no cash in your bank account, you cannot buy a loaf of bread. To a bank and take out a loan, using the painting as collateral. This is exactly what Michael Jackson did. As early as 1993, his debts reached $30 million. By 1998, that number ballooned to $140 million. To survive, Jackson sat down with bankers and signed for a massive $270 million loan, using his beloved Sony/ATV music catalog as collateral. The bank gave him the cash, but they also held the keys to his empire. If he failed to pay them back, they could seize the Beatles' catalog. By the mid-2000s, the warning signs were flashing red. The cash from the loans was vanishing into thin air. Jackson was known to spend $6 million on a single shopping trip. He paid $81,250 for Johnny Depp's gloves from the movie Edward Scissorhands, and $1.5 million for an Academy Award trophy. But while the spending continued, his income streams were drying up. In 2004, Jackson was indicted on criminal child molestation charges. Though he was acquitted in 2005, the trial devastated his reputation and his finances. Realizing the extreme risk, Bank of America decided to get out of the Michael Jackson business. They sold his $270 million loan to Fortress Investment Group, a private equity firm specializing in distressed debt. Suddenly, Michael was no longer dealing with traditional bankers, but with ruthless Wall Street investors who knew exactly how valuable his collateral was. In 2006, the walls closed in. With Fortress threatening to foreclose on his loans, Jackson was forced into a desperate corner. He agreed to refinance his debts, but the terms were brutal. He had to give Sony an option to buy out half of his stake in the music catalog. His financial sovereignty was slipping away. By 2008, even Neverland Ranch was facing foreclosure. Jackson couldn't even pay the mortgage on his dream home. Private equity billionaire Thomas Barrick of Colony Capital stepped in at the last second, buying the defaulted loan to save the ranch from public auction. Desperate for a lifeline, in March 2009, Jackson rehired his old attorney John Branca and signed a deal with concert promoter Randy Phillips of AEG Live for the This Is It comeback tour. The tour was meant to be his financial salvation, but it also loaded another $40 million of debt onto his shoulders to fund the production. The pressure was too much. On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson died, leaving behind a staggering $500 million in debt. Instantly, a financial war broke out. Over 65 creditors filed claims against his estate, demanding to be paid. These weren't just big banks. They were ordinary professionals, lawyers, and the 100 to 150 employees at Neverland Ranch who had faced months of job uncertainty. As one of his former lawyers bitterly put it, Jackson never paid his bills. His children's inheritance was on the verge of total erasure. Control of the chaotic estate fell to John Branca and accountant John McClain. They faced a seemingly impossible task: stop the bleeding and pay off $500 million before the creditors seized everything Jackson had spent his life building. What followed was the most remarkable financial and image resurrection in music history. Branca and McClain stabilized the estate, and in 2016, they made the ultimate deal. Sony bought out Jackson's remaining 50% share in Sony/ATV Music Publishing for $750 million. Today, the estate is valued at over $2 billion, having generated more than $3 billion since his death. Yet even in death, the drama continued as the estate fought a massive battle with the IRS, which claimed they owed $700 million in back taxes and penalties. Michael Jackson's life remains a powerful cautionary tale of unchecked extravagance, a man who owned the greatest music catalog in the world, yet died cash poor, couch surfing, and chased by 65 creditors.